Cotton is everywhere. We wear it, of course, but we also sleep in it. We dry ourselves off with it. We use cotton swabs and cotton balls to take care of our bodies. We sit on it. We have it hanging in our windows. We find it in our cars. It's everywhere. Taking cotton fiber and getting it into a garment takes a lot of steps, and at every step there is an enormous amount of chemicals, water, and energy that are used in the process. The fiber is used in textiles, but cotton also grows cotton seed. Cotton seed oil is in almost every food. It also ends up in the feed for animals that we like to eat. So it's not just that the cotton fiber is in our life, it's also in every other part of our life as well.
You think about a customer walking into a store and picking up a t-shirt. I think a lot of customers within our stores really don't understand the entire life cycle of what that shirt has gone through. It starts all the way back to the growth of the cotton in the field. From the growth of the cotton, it's transported to a ginning facility where it's ginned. From the ginning facility, it then moves to a spinning facility where it's spun into yarn. From the spinning stage, it then moves to a knitting and a weaving facility. And hopefully that knitting and weaving facility also has a dye plant. If not, it's moving to another facility where it's dyed and it's finished. From there, it's then moved to a cut and sew facility where it's cut, sewn. From that facility, it then usually goes to a consolidation center before it goes to a warehouse. And then from the warehouse, it then ships to a consumer. And what happens to the end of its life when it's done and the person's outgrown it or used to its full extent, it's then put into a landfill. Cotton's found in various departments within our stores, all the way from the home division to children's to men's to women's, and even into sporting goods and some of our textile opportunities and textile products. Walmart's the largest user of cotton in the world, and because of that, it really provided us a great opportunity of how we can reduce our environmental footprint and help our customers actually have access to more sustainable products and looking at our value chain around cotton. Our first step was really learning and understanding what is the impact, how do we go about doing business. We wanted to drive a positive influence on the industry, so it really took a base of understanding. That was step one. Step two was then strategically working with farmers, ginners, spinners, knitters, weavers throughout the value chain and really making sure we had a long-term partnership with them to make sure we could drive a positive impact on the industry. One of the things we discovered about 2 years ago was the use of organic cotton. Organic cotton simply means it's cotton grown without the use of any synthetic pesticides, fertilizers, defoliants. It's a natural way of growing cotton.
If we converted all of our cotton farming to organic, there would be a huge benefit. We'd reduce billions of pounds of chemicals from going into the environment each year. That means better health, more profits, and longer sustainability for the planet.
We made a strategic choice to buy our first purchase of organic cotton. That first purchase made us the largest user of organic cotton in the world. When we look at organic cotton growth is less than 1% of the world growth of cotton. So if we were going to continue to grow that industry, we had to find a way to help partner and enable farmers to make a transition. One of the things we could do would be to help farmers convert from conventional farming into organic farming. That conversion or transition time is a very difficult time for farmers. When we look at that transitional period, it takes 3 years from a conventional farmer to start converting over and growing into organic. So transitional cotton is actually the cotton that's harvested during that conversion time frame, that 3 years from going from conventional farming practices into organic farming practices. And often yields fall in the first 2 years. So the downside to a farming community or a farmer are great. There's a lot of business risk. And on top of it all, during that 3-year period, they cannot sell that cotton as organic. It has to be sold as conventional. So there's no premium. So really there's no reward system based for a farmer to convert over. Once they've made that transition on the 3rd year, then they have an organic field. But that transition period is very difficult. So what Walmart did is they stepped up, and we went out to the farmers, and we reached out to about 1,000 farmers, and we asked them if they would convert over if we paid them organic cotton pricing, even though it wasn't organic. And that is what we did in the first year.
They're the largest consumer of transitional cotton in the world. And their decision, not just to do that once, to buy something for one season, but to make a long-term strategic business choice to enter into the organic marketplace, means that a market has been built for all of these great organic products that farmers want to grow. And that decision will help transfer and convert many, 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 many millions of acres of land from chemical farming to organic farming. All of our clothing now comes from one of two sources. It either comes from a field, if it's a natural fiber, or it comes from an oil well, if it's a synthetic fiber.
When we started looking at fiber use in the world today, there's an added need of fiber of 4.5 billion pounds over the year before. That's enough of an increase to make 8.6 billion t-shirts every year. Knowing that, we knew we had to look at more sustainable ways of getting fiber. So some of the alternative fibers that we're working in is soybean, bamboo, and bamboo gives us a really unique opportunity. Bamboo is a natural antibacterial, and it's also a breathable fiber. So it solves a lot of things. So we started putting bamboo into socks, women's intimate apparel. So you have a great side benefit besides being alternative. We've started looking at recycled polyester. So rather than using virgin fossil fuels, how do we start moving towards using recycled polyester? There's so many cool things out there that really are much more sustainable alternatives to what we're currently using.
I can't overstate the role that Walmart has played in the organic world to help lead the growth of organic textiles, as well as to help innovate new ways of doing business in the organic chain.
You know, our journey in textiles has just begun. We have so many things we can do to drive change. I think in the future, what you're going to see is you're going to see transparency in a value chain that's never been there before. You're going to have manufacturers, you're going to have retailers and consumers who understand environmental impacts, and they understand that when they pick up a t-shirt, what impacts happen at what stages, and what we can do about making the change.